That's all right. Let's learn Pirkei Avos. We had over here Rabbi Eliezer said. We'll read what Rabbi Eliezer said, Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, and then we'll continue to the next Mishnah. Because Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, we'll see in the end, he said some pretty strange things. What's in the end, he's talking about, we learned this a little bit yesterday. Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus said, your friend's property and belongings and, your friend's honor should be dear to you like your own. But you should worry about giving proper respect to others, just like you would like everyone to give respect to you. That was one explanation. We said another explanation is that when people do pay respect to someone, you should be happy as though they are repaying it to you. You should be happy to see other people succeed. That's what Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus said. He also said, do not anger easily. You remember this we learned yesterday? And he said, finally, repent one day before you die. And of course, nobody knows when they're going to die, but everybody does know that they are going to die. So that should put a little bit of a thought into your mind that maybe you're not the king of the universe. Maybe you're not going to live eternally, even though up to now things are going pretty good. I mean, we're alive. But you start to think maybe, one day this certainty that I have that's just going to continue on like this, maybe it's going to stop one day. So you start to think and realize that I'm not the boss of the world. Repent. Do tshuva. All right. And then he said, you should warm yourself up by the light of the wise men, but you have to be careful about the coals that you shouldn't get burned, because their bite is the bite of a fox, and the sting of the wise men, the Jewish wise men, is like the sting of a scorpion. And their, their whispering, or their whatever it is, their poison is like the poison of a snake. And all their words are like flaming fires. Okay, well, I don't want to go into this one too much, but basically what he's saying is that the Jewish wise men, as kind and as positive that they're supposed to be, but they're also very exact about the Torah. They're very exact about the Torah. I mean, in Chabad, you don't find this too much. They're very careful about the Torah, but they understand if people make mistakes. But nevertheless, a person has to be very zealous and very jealous for the laws of the Torah when we're dealing with religious people we're talking about. When you're dealing with non-religious people, you can't be so harsh, because it could be they don't even know what they're doing. And it could be that the little bit that they know, they're doing better than you. So it says, but nevertheless, a person who's a truly wise Jew, so he knows how important it is, every detail of the Torah. Just take an example. You go to music school and you claim that you really know how to play music, and you start playing Chopin or something like that, and you make all sorts of mistakes. They'll kick you right out of the school. If you don't know what you're doing, did you practice? What do I have to practice for? Or you're a brain surgeon or something like that, or you're a lawyer and you cut wherever you want to, or you just make up quotes on your own cases, then so you can't do whatever you want to, and the people who are really experts will get angry at you, right? That's music. That's a doctor. That's a lawyer. They'll get angry. So it's the same thing. The people with the Torah, that they really know the Torah, and the Torah in a way is much more important than being a good lawyer, being of this, because it deals with the whole entire fate and welfare of the world. The blessings of the world all depend on the Torah. So, and therefore they have a justification for getting really angry at people that should know better. Should know better. Okay. There's always a justification for getting mad. So I don't want to go into this too much, because let's go next. Rabbi Yeshua Ohr. Right? Nobody gets mad for no reason. People get mad. The question is, what comes first, the getting mad or the reason? Right? Some people just like to get mad, and so they look around for some reason. I think that's pretty much what we're seeing now in America. There's riots and things like that. There's people that they could care less about life, right? This black guy got killed. And they see that the people that are rioting, they could care less about life. They're killing, they themselves are killing people for no reason. People that had nothing to do with it. Imagine. Okay, so it's the same thing over here, but the wise men in Judaism do have a justification for getting angry at people who should know better. Who should know better. People who learn Torah and they do it and they decide to do what they want. Let's go to the next one. Rabbi Yeshua said. Who was Rabbi Yeshua? We said Rabbi Yeshua ben Hananel, right? Rabbi Yeshua said, Ayin hara, Yetzer hara, v'sinat habriot. These three things, having a bad eye, that's jealousy. Yetzer hara means that you, how do you say it, destructive urges. V'sinat habriot, you destroy yourself with all sorts of pleasures to destroy other people. Sinat habriot, and hating people, motzim et ha'adam min ha'olam, takes a person out of the world. Takes a person, makes a person die. Now, if you think about this a little bit, this is sort of against human nature. It's against human nature. Right? Because when does a person really feel that he's alive, right? He sees something and he wants it. You have a person that's a nebuch, right? There's nothing, he doesn't care. Somebody else is rich, let him be rich. What do I care? Somebody does something to me, I don't care. This, right? That's like a person that's depressed, whatever. To be jealous of someone, this is a really good thing, right? To be jealous, to want something else, to have all sorts of desires running after your desires, then you're really a lebedik mensch, you're really alive. You hate people. This is a sign that you are assertive. You have your opinion. You stand up for what you believe in, and no one's going to push me over. And this is what I am: a Republican, a Democrat, a Chassid, a Misnagid, a this, a Smarty, I'm this. I'm holding on to myself, right? Anyone who's against me, I hate him. So this is, people, this is very common. This is human nature. And the reason it's human nature is because it feels good to do these things. It feels productive. It feels like you're really alive. Says Pirkei Avos that these things are the opposite of life. They take you out of the world. Listen to this. Rabbi Yeshua said, Ayin hara, jealousy, Yetzer hara, all sorts of desires and sinat chinam and hating people, sinat habriot, this kills you. Let's do the kahati. Rabbi Yeshua counts over here three things. What did Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said? He has these 5 pupils, and these 5 pupils, each one said 3 things. By the way, I saw another sikha from the Rebbe, that the Rebbe takes these 5 pupils and he shows how each one of them corresponds to another book of the Torah. Elazar ben Hyrcanus corresponds to Bereshis, etc. Let's see. Ayin hara, kamo ayin ra, like a bad eye. What does it mean, a bad eye? Hainu tzorot ayin shel adam v'kinato, namely jealousy that people have b'tovatam shel achirim, of others. Jealousy. Jealousy is very, very powerful. Jealousy. There's a book which is called Samak, Sefer Mitzvot Katan. I forgot who wrote it, but Sefer Mitzvot Katan. I have the book here. And it lists the commandments according to the limbs of the body, or the attributes of the body, whatever. So it says over there that the heart. What are the commandments of the heart? Negative commandments. Don't hate and don't kill. Don't hate and don't hate people, and don't be jealous. These 2 that he has over here. Ayin hara is jealousy, and sinat habriot means hatred. So which is worse? Hatred or jealousy? So he brings down a midrash from somewhere. That hatred and jealousy, as soon as God created them, hatred and jealousy got into an argument. They got into an argument. They're always arguing. Jealousy, he's jealous. Why? You don't deserve to be the chief of hatred. And the hatred, he hated, the other just hates him. So they're always arguing. So finally God says, I've had enough. I've had enough. I've decided I'm going to put an end to this argument. I've decided to give you both a present. Presents, whatever you want. Just keep quiet. Right? $1 million, $1 billion, whatever you want as a present. But one thing, whoever asks first only receives half as much as the one who can have patience and ask second. In other words, whatever you ask for, the first one, right, if you're the first to ask, then I'm going to give twice as much to the other person. So hatred says, I don't want to be the first to ask. He's going to get twice as much. And jealousy says, I'll be the first one to ask. He'll get twice as much as me. No problem. I'll be the first one. So they're very surprised. Hatred was very happy. He has no patience. So God says, okay, jealousy, you want to ask first, but remember, the other guy's going to get twice as much as you. He said, no problem. I want to ask first. And you're sure he's going to get twice as much as me? Yes. Okay, I want you to take one of my eyes out. Just he's willing that God should take out one of his eyes so that he would take 2 eyes from the other person. He's willing to lose an eye. But the only thing is just to see the other guy. So that's what jealousy does. That's why jealousy is worse than hatred. So let's see what the Kahati says. Rabbi Yeshua Ohr, ayin hara. What is ayin hara? Like ayin ra, namely jealousy. He's jealousy when he sees anyone benefiting. Yetzer hara. Yetzer hara, what is it? Netiya shel adam lamalei taivot libo. The inclination of a person to fill his urges, whatever he desires. That's what he wants. Sees a nice car, I want it. Sees a nice this, I want it. Nice house, I want it. I have to have everything. V'sinat habriot, and the hatred of the creations, hating people, in other words, shinato shel adam lebriot. When someone hates others, Umafurish Rashi says, Chinat sinat chinam. Hating for no reason at all. And like I said before, what does it mean hating? No, anybody hates for no reason at all. Everybody hates for some reason, right? They hate for some reason. They hate the Jews because they've got all the money. They hate the blacks because they're stupid. They hate the Mexicans. I mean, even though it's true, totally false, but at least they make up some reason, some sort of a reason. How can it be you hate someone for no reason? Doesn't make any sense. Why do I hate him? I don't know. I just hate him. I mean, you hate him because he's tall. He's got a big nose. He's short. There's something. They have to have some reason. No, I just hate him for. There's no such thing. No one hates someone. The attribute of hate is aroused by something, right? So you can't hate someone for nothing. So how can it possibly sinat chinam? Where is there such a thing? So the answer is very simple. A person hates anyone that doesn't agree with me, even potentially. It doesn't look like me, different religion as me, different feeling as me, different faith as me, different political parties as me. I hate them. Anyone who can't help me, I hate them. And then afterwards, I find the reason why. Nah, it's not because he can't help me. It's because he's the color of his skin, because of his beliefs, because of this. Then he makes up all sorts of reasons, right? Why it is. But first of all, the main thing is to hate. He wants to hate someone. He wants to destroy somebody. He wants to be the king. He feels himself, and anyone who might get in my way, kill him. Hate him. That's what sinat chinam is. Hatred for no reason. And then afterwards, you look for the reasons. The reasons come afterwards. Some people say, what is sinat the brio? What does it mean, hating the creations? Shebnei adam soni moto. People hate him. Mipnei shu ish kasher, because he's a hard person. Ra ma'alalim. Sinat habriot means hating people, not hating people. That people hate you. Sinat habriot. You arouse hatred in others. Kala devarim elu. All these things, they take a person out of the world. Let's just a little further. Gormim ra b'la'adam. They cause great harm to a person. U'mechalim et gufo v'nafsho. And they destroy his body and his soul. But what are these things? Jealousy, how do you say, desires lust and hatred. Some people say, these three things, that these three things are really stages. in losing one's, I say, morals and value system. It starts off, first of all, a person has a bad eye. He's jealous. He can't stand to see other people succeed. He wants what the other person has. Therefore, after that, he comes to the second step. What's that? Yetzer hara. He has an evil inclination. By means of this, his inclination is he wants, desires things. Sinata briot. Then everybody starts to hate him, and he hates everybody. And they'll trip him up. The nimsa so comes out yotzem yaolam. Therefore, this person will die below ito without his proper time. Well, according to the Rambam says, ayin hara. What is ayin hara? In other words, redifa acharei mamon mirov kilion v'tzoros ayin. Says it's not just regular jealousy. It's jealousy that brings a person to run after everything that he sees. That's what it means, a bad eye. Ma'avir et adam al dato, makes him crazy. Umachniso oto b'sakana, and he'll go into all sorts of crazy dangers. He's willing to risk his life. A thief, for instance, he's willing to risk his life just to break into somebody's house and steal. I get a job, work for it. You'll make less money, right? But in the end, you'll be happy. You won't make somebody else unhappy. Yetzer hara hainu hazlila v'hasiba sha'ar v'shar tavot. Namely, zlila means like drinking, eating, pleasure. V'haseva, drinking and eating, overeating, and other pleasures that the person gets from the world. You always get these pictures, of Caesar and one of these bacchanals, with big stomach, sitting there eating grapes and drinking wine, something like that. Well, that's like some people, that's the ideal life. That couldn't be any. It says this really kills a person. Mevim cholim rhyme. It brings all sorts of crazy diseases, and then it brings him also to hate people because of kina, but sorrow, because of hate, jealousy, and having a bad eye for others. In other words, having a narrow look at others. Most people, you start to hate other people, and you can't stand the world. You want to be separate from the world. And he hates the love, he hates life, and he just wants to keep away from life because everything in life just makes him feel bad, right? He wants it. Walks down the street, says, "What's this guy have a new car? Why don't I have a new car?" See, why does he live in a building? Why does he have such nice shoes? Everything he sees makes him crazy because he wants everything. And eventually he just hates everybody and he just keeps away. And that takes him away from life, keeps him away. As we will talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. All right, we have 5 minutes, 3 minutes. We can learn a little bit of Basar v'Chalav. Is there anyone with us? Who are we here for? Oh, there's a couple people. Let's see who we have here. Milk and meat. All right.